These hearings will serve as a form of discovery for the committee as we continue to document and enter into the record all the facts surrounding the Arctic Frost witch hunt. And let me be clear, we need Jack Smith before us under oath so he can answer for his actions in this targeted, weaponized witch hunt. We are ultimately here this morning because Jack Smith violated his oath of office. He trampled on Americans' rights that are enshrined in the Constitution, all for one reason: to go after President Donald Trump and conservatives across this great nation. With the Biden DOJ's approval, Jack Smith issued 197 subpoenas to over 430 conservative organizations and individuals. That was the length that he went to go after President Trump. Jack Smith took a page out of the old Russian playbook by saying, "Give me the man and I will give you the case against him." In this case, the man was President Trump and hundreds of conservative Americans who supported him. Luckily, we now have a commander-in-chief in the White House in President Trump who is working every day to root out the two-tiered system of justice implemented under Joe Biden that allowed this political witch hunt that targeted conservatives. Chairman Grassley began his work to uncover the atrocities of this Arctic Frost investigation in 2022. And thanks to brave whistleblowers that have come forward, we have learned a lot. We know that just days after President Trump announced his 2024 campaign, Jack Smith was named special counsel. We know that Jack Smith was determined to persecute President Trump and hundreds of conservatives across America who support him. And relevant to our hearing today, we know that Jack Smith secretly subpoenaed the phone records of sitting U.S. senators and congressmen. 5 members of this committee, Senators Graham, Lee, Cruz, Hawley, and I, had our phone records subpoenaed by Jack Smith, in addition to several other senators and members of the House. But Jack Smith didn't stop there. He also made sure that we didn't find out about this deep invasion of our privacy, ensuring that an Obama appointee, Judge James Boasberg, signed non-disclosure orders that were attached to the subpoenas and had no basis in fact. His basis for the gag orders: that sitting members of Congress would, and I quote directly from him, result in destruction of evidence, intimidation of potential witnesses, and serious jeopardy to the investigation, end quote. Think about that. Sitting members of Congress, and that is what he thought. Additionally, we know that Jack Smith's corrupt team of prosecutors consulted with the Biden DOJ Public Integrity Section and concluded essentially that while there was some litigation risk related to the speech and debate clause, they could go ahead with the subpoenas regardless because the affected members of Congress would never find out about this invasion of privacy and violation of constitutional rights. So they thought they could hide it, and we would never know. Well, thanks to brave whistleblowers and Chairman Grassley's unflinching investigative work, we found out about the subpoenas, and that is why we're holding the hearing today. This morning, we'll examine how each of these wireless carriers, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, responded to Jack Smith's unlawful, illegal subpoenas. Specifically, we'll look at the fact that Verizon and T-Mobile complied with Jack Smith's May 2023 subpoenas no questions asked. We'll also hear from AT&T, who in the case of Senator Cruz did raise speech and debate clause concerns and pushed back against Jack Smith's demands, despite previously producing the phone records of Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Congressman Chip Roy. It's critical that each of these carriers go on the record about the decisions that they made and why, or why not, they enabled and worked with Jack Smith's weaponization of government. I'll close with this. If this kind of invasion of privacy can happen to sitting members of Congress and even the President of the United States, it can and probably will happen to all Americans unless we stop it right here. This was the worst weaponization of government in American history, and I'm determined to ensure that Jack Smith is held accountable to prevent another Arctic frost from happening again. The American people deserve nothing less.